Hi there. Today I'm going to show you some of the things that the new plugin can do, and to do that I'm going to use this WordPress blog which I've set up on my test system. Now, as you can see, the idea of this is that it's there to provide information about autoresponders, which of course is a tool which online marketers find practically essential. But of course it could be anything. It's just that I thought it would be a useful kind of environment in which to show you some ideas about what you can do, and of course you can adapt and no doubt come up with lots of other new ideas as well. So of course the first thing we must do is to install the plugin, and to do that we go to the dashboard. Now I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because I guess most people will know how this is done, but briefly you can see that I'm going to click on the plugins link on the side here, and I'm going to add a new plugin. And the way I'm going to do that is upload it from the PC I'm working on. So I choose the file here from my PC and click on the Install Now button, and WordPress takes care of the rest. All I have to do is activate the plugin, and you'll see that it gets added to the list of plugins which are installed on this site. Here it is. And what it also does, which is not immediately apparent, is that it adds a link at the bottom of the settings option, which when we click it will take us to the page which manages what the plugin does. So that is our plugin installed. Okay, so now we have our plugin installed, and I think the best thing at this point is just to run through a quick example to show you the kind of thing which the plugin can do. What I'm going to do is find some HTML to insert a banner in front of my content. Now, because this is a blog about autoresponders, it'd be nice to have an autoresponder related banner, and I know that one place I can find that is at my Aweber affiliate account. So here I am on my Aweber account, and as an affiliate, like most good marketers, they provide lots of customized HTML, and I've chosen this banner, and this is the customized HTML for my affiliate ID, and all I need to do is to right click inside the window with the code, select all, oops, take for some reason, there we go, highlight it, select it so that I know I've got everything, right click again, oops, copy, that copies it to the clipboard on my PC. And now if I go back to our control page, I'm going to right click inside the text box and choose paste, and that pastes the code from Aweber into the text box there for the banner. Now let's look at this drop down box opposite the legend pages. There is by default the choice to put it on every page, but I'm going to come back to that. What I want to do naturally at this point is to put this code, this banner, the code for this banner relating to Aweber on my Aweber page. So if I click that, I choose the Aweber page, and now I'm going to add, and here we see the banner which is going to be put on the Aweber page of my WordPress blog. So if I go back to the sort of public view of my blog, this was the home page, but here is the Aweber page. Now if I click this tab, what we will find is that the plugin has put that HTML in at the beginning of the page content, and you can see it rotating there. And of course, because the code which Aweber produced for us is effectively a link, an affiliate link, it's clickable, as you can see. So that is the first example of what we could do. Now I've also got a page, of course, on Get Response. So if I click at that, now it might be that I was also an affiliate for Get Response. So let's go back to our settings here, and this time I'm going to go over to my affiliate account for Get Response. Here is a nice looking banner, and I'm going to do the same thing. It seems to have selected all already when I clicked on it, but if I copy this, again that goes to the clipboard, go back to my control page and paste, and of course this time I'm going to choose the page for Get Response, and I click Add, and here you can see that we've now got two banners, one for the page Aweber, one for the page GetResponse. If I go back to my blog, and of course I haven't refreshed it yet, so if I press the refresh key, you can see that the GetResponse banner has been inserted in the same place. Again, because it's a link, it's clickable, as you can see from the hand other than from the mouse. And if I go back to the Aweber page, you can see that we have a similar thing there. I think on the GetResponse page you may want to actually center that up, so that would be a small tweak to the HTML, but that's something which is relatively easily done. So that is the basic idea. Okay, so here's another idea in terms of content which you could use with this plugin. I'm going to go to YouTube. In fact, I've already done a little bit of research, because there are a lot of videos on YouTube about autoresponders in general and about Aweber in particular, and I think I'm right in saying that this ID here is actually one of Aweber's own. Now I'm not going to actually play the video, but I'm going to get some embed code, and I do that by clicking on the embed button, and you can see that the page opens up to show me custom HTML, and in fact it's also got one or two other options. Now this is purely a personal thing. I don't really want something quite as big as even the smallest default kind of size that they offer, so I'm going to customize this to the minimum width, which is, as it says here, 200 pixels. And as I was doing that, you may have noticed that the HTML here changed to accommodate that. So if I click on this to highlight this and then do what has become routine now, copy this to the clipboard, go back to our control panel, right click here and paste this. Now what I'm going to do here is, because this is directly related to Aweber, I'm also going to add this to the Aweber page. So I click here. And once again, I need to just scroll down so you can see this. So we now have the two additions to the Aweber pages, which are shown here. And if I go back to the blog and I click on the Aweber page, there we go. And again, I perhaps need to box clever with the HTML which Aweber supplied, just to get things centered up, or perhaps configured in exactly the way I want. But if I click on play, it may take a little while, but there we go. Thank you, Lucas, just to prove that it works. So that's yet another idea. Okay, so now I'm going to do two things. I'm going to give you one more idea in terms of content which you can drag in to your WordPress blog using this plugin, and I'm also going to describe the way that the all option works here in this drop down for pages. But before I do those things, I'm just going to delete the YouTube video that we put in last time, just to keep things tidy, and you'll see why. If you don't realize, it can get a little crowded if you do too much with this. So what I'm going to do in terms of content is add some AdSense, and once again here is my Google AdSense account, and once again you can see that Google have kindly provided some HTML which is set up according to the parameters that I gave them earlier. And again, I copy this and I right click in the text box here and paste it, and this time I'm going to just let things default to the all page here and add, and of course I have to scroll down slightly, but you can see down here that with the description all, meaning all pages, we have a small block of ads from Google. So let me go back to the page we were just looking at, and what I'm going to do now is refresh this, and what we should see is that we should keep our original Aweber banner, but the video that we were just looking at has gone and it's been replaced by the ads from Google. Now if I go to the GetResponse page, we see much the same kind of idea. We have Ads by Google underneath the Get Response banner, and let's just take a quick look at the other page that we had there. Now don't forget, this wasn't one that we looked at before, so it hasn't got anything specifically of its own, but it has got the default provided by that all option of a block of AdSense ads, and here they are. Let's go and look at the home page. Now this is slightly different. If I were to drill down to any one of these individual posts, like this one for example, yes, we see AdSense. But if we just go to the home page where the blog rolls around as entries are put in it, posts are put in it, we don't see it. And I think you probably understand by now that the reason for this is that if we had the plugin putting stuff in underneath the heading and ahead of the content for each of these on the home page, it might look a bit messy. But as soon as you drill down to one of the individual posts, the all parameter that we saw here kicks in, and in this case it's AdSense, but it could have been a banner or it could have been a video or anything else. That all gets dragged in as well. So that's how that works, and that is something which I expect people want to make a lot of use of. Okay, so by now I hope that you're beginning to understand some of the things that you can do with this plugin. And I'm just going to end now by giving you one more idea in terms of content. So again, in an attempt to keep things tidy, I'm just going to delete the AdSense that we looked at a moment ago, because what I want to do now is add something else to all pages, and that is a sign up form for a newsletter. And of course for that I need an autoresponder, and here is my Aweber account, and I've already set up the necessary form, and as you will be well used to by now, we've got the HTML which they provided. So what I'm going to do is copy this and then go back to my control page, right click, paste, and I'm going to let this default to all pages again and add this here. I'm going to leave my two banners as they were, but again if I scroll down you can see what Aweber have allowed us to add here to all pages. It's it's not a very sophisticated sign up form because this is just for demonstration purposes, but if we now go back to the public face of the blog, once again reminder that on the home page, and if I just refresh it you'll see it here, on the home page we don't get this because these individual snippets of articles would look a complete mess if we had the content pulled in on every one of them. But if I were to pick one in particular and drill down, you'll see that the form has been added at the front of our content, and it's, again, I must apologize for the look and feel of this, but it's not a particularly nice looking form, but you get the idea. You can tweak the HTML to make it look exactly the way you want to. If I go to the Aweber page, again I have what was originally there for Aweber and what applies to all pages. Same with Get Response. But of course, as I said earlier, on the home page you just get the snippets, you just get the extracts from each of the blog items, and it doesn't mess up the page. So that, I hope, gives you a good understanding of what this plugin will do, and I'm sure that people will be able to find lots of other creative ways of using it, and I hope you enjoy using it. Take care.